Folks, just wanted to do a quickie. If you have purchased a Freewing aircraft in the last, I would say, year or maybe a little better, the gyro switched over, and now the gyro is this EG01. There's lots of people, all kinds of stuff in the forums and stuff talking about them, crashing planes, blaming it 100% on a gyro. I'm a strong believer in gyros, and I don't have a good flight level. I mean, flight skill level. So I need them. I like them. I love them. I need them. I love safe mode. I love what safe mode does. I just really found out about something I didn't know anything about. And it's a flight mode on the Aero Scout. And I believe it's probably indigenous to the rest of the things that come from like that Hobby Zone brand or whatever that name brand is, where the Aero Scout. But it has a safe mode that when you're flying and you release the sticks at any time, it self-levels. Well, that's kind of like a safe mode. It is safe mode. As a matter of fact, those, they kind of teamed up their Spectrum gear in there. But there's another mode called intermediate where if you release the sticks, it doesn't change anything. It'll keep any attitude. To me, that's the perfect setup. You get your Aero Scout, you fly on safe mode, and you release the sticks, they go center. Then when you think you're better, you flip it into intermediate mode, which it doesn't let you flip over. That's a good thing. And it'll let you go all the way to a certain bank angle, but then when you let go, it stays there. It doesn't self-level. No safe self-leveling. It just stays there. And then you have to pretty much fly the aircraft. This is the perfect setup. This gets you to the next stage of learning how to fly without safe at all. You know what I'm saying? Without gyro, you could just use AS3X on all the planes you set up after. This is a perfect scenario. I love that setup. I might even try to figure out how to program it myself because it's on a regular AR630 or something receiver. So anyway, this rant and rage is not about that. It's about this gyro. The Freewing EG01. I have gone through 5 birds now. And at first I thought it was a fluke with the B2. We had a B2. It had an older gyro other than this one. And it worked fine. It had 3 different colors. It cut off, it cut on, it did everything we wanted to do. It was a perfect gyro. They upgraded it. We bought another B2. The same pilot with that B2 bought another B2. So back-to-back B2s. He wrecked it and he wanted a brand new one. He got the brand new, newest, greatest, greatest everything. And it had this gyro in it. The EG01. Cool looking little gyro. Got a little hazardous symbol sign on it for you to light up. I thought I was, getting upgraded, right? We could never get that gyro to go into blue. Now, and contrary to beliefs, like that's a stupid setup, right? You would think green would be safe and blue would, anyway, further rant. That's not that important for right now. But anyway, what the green mode is on these gyros is AS3X. They made something that does AS3X, right? It does a wind mitigation service. And then off, which means no light at all, which is a contradiction. If you read the manuals and stuff, it says white. There is no white. It goes green and it goes off. My biggest issue is 5 birds now. We could not get this to go into blue. So we put it on a 3-position switch, like recommended. I look at Motion's thing. Wesley does all kinds of videos. He's showing it where it goes green and blue and all kinds of colors. Not all kinds of colors, but green and blue and off. Great, it works for him. Many people have commented on my videos about the same thing, which means you cannot get that sucker to go into blue mode unless you buy this bridge, perhaps. I ordered the bridge because I'm very upset right now with the Aries. But I ordered the bridge now, and that's going to slow me down on getting things because, I got to wait for that now. But ultimately, I'm pulling them out of there, and the Aries is kind of weird because you got the 13 channels. But all I'm going to do, I just want a flyable bird. I'm going to just tie in Y's to the thrust vector and the tail to the rudder and the elevator, and that frees up a few channels right there. The only thing I'm going to be short is reverse thrust. And if I change out that stupid speed control and put an Avion in there, if I really like the bird, I'm gonna put an Avion in there, and boom, now I got a free channel from the Avion by itself to do thrust reverse. So like, to me, at this point in technology, this stuff is so inferior for them to do this, and people are, And people will get in there and argue in the comments about it, how they're superior because they make the big jets. Yes, they make the big jets. Nobody else is even in that market. Nobody cares because nobody's competing. So they got the whole market to themselves. Unless you go some really oddball like HSD jets or something, then that's bigger price tags, different stuff. The cheap foam planes, they're making them. And they got the corner of the market and they're selling them. Why are they leaving us hanging with something like this? You sell me a gyro that's doing 3 positions. These gyros can't be cheap. The aircraft costs $700. You're going to sell me a gyro that doesn't do all 3 positions. This video is mostly to get people's opinion on this and see if anybody has a fix. If you got a fix, throw it in the comments. I answer every comment, by the way. I don't get anything free. I don't get sent anything. This stuff was all purchased. I'm a regular guy just like you all. And some stuff just really ticks us off in this hobby, how these companies are getting away with it. We're bringing them to the top of the list of the airplanes that are available, but we're selling for this. And then most people say, oh, just throw that junk away and put a Spectrum in. Yeah, I'm going to do that, but you shouldn't have to do that. You're selling me a bird with a gyro at a price tag. You should give me a gyro that works. Match Spectrum. Go look at their technology and see what they're doing. FMS did it, and it works. Your stuff doesn't work. I'm very agitated right now because I could have been getting an early maiden on this bird, but now I got to wait for another stupid part to come in that, by the way, I'm not 100% convinced is going to make this work, because Wesley said in his video that as soon as you turn it on, you got the 3 modes. And all you would need to do with that programming box is to alter things, like if your servo throws are wrong or something, to fix something that's wrong. But what he's saying is that out the box, it's supposed to have all 3 positions. So if you're like me, and many people have commented, I know there's a gang of us, if you don't have all 3 positions and you're trying to figure out what's going on, and somebody's looking at this at some point and they do know what to do, please put it in the comments, and I will do what you say and make another video and help people get past this, because if you're buying these things with these gyro in them, you should be able to use them. I don't see what's the deal. Please help if you can. That's all I really got to say. Anybody, give me all the comments you can, criticisms, beat me up on it. I don't care. Do what you do, guys. I do have to have a gyro to feel comfortable to fly. This one here is not as good as safe because it doesn't have self-leveling. Well, I'm sorry. It does have self-leveling, but basically it allows you to flip all the way over, do everything you can do. And to what I noticed, Motion replied to a comment in another video, and I went through searching. There's nothing about this. That's why I'm doing this video. There's nothing about this out there. But Motion replied saying that it doesn't act like safe. Basically, safe gives you a bank angle and then you let go and it fixes it. This lets you do anything, flip over all the maneuvers you want. But then if you ever let go of the sticks, it self-levels. I'd try that. I mean, to me, that doesn't seem bad. That might be one up on what the Aero Scout has, because you're going to be as far, that's the next level after that, basically. You're going to be where you can fly this bird unrestricted, but if you ever get into trouble, you hands off, give it full throttle, hands off, and that bird will self-level and right away until you can get reorganized and turn it back around and come to you. That's enough for the ranting and raving. If you can help, please do. Pooley out.